Welcome to NCE News Wrap, sponsored by Groundforce Shoreco, where we bring you some of the month's biggest stories in a quick 5-minute roundup. At NCE's Future of Rail conference, former Crossrail Chief Executive Mark Wilde reflected on the challenges faced by the project, which, despite opening this year, had originally been scheduled to complete in December 2018.
It would be very convenient if there was somebody to blame for Crossrail, wouldn't it? It would be like, if only we could catch somebody. But the truth is, it's a systemic failing. I sat on the board, and I would have rated myself to have a reasonable career in this. I'd run Westinghouse, I'd run the biggest signalling company in the world, and I didn't spot it. And there was a black hole in the project. You know, we thought we were 97% complete. By the time we looked at it, really, we were 61% complete.
Overall, then, what would Wilde do differently?
The number one, no end dates, right? Windows. And number two to me, the drive for simplicity. The drive for simplicity. Crossrail started out with great modularity ideas. You look at all of our platforms, the totems, the GFRC, it's modular actually. Ray O'Rourke did a wonderful job. In 2015, the client design was running late and we lost our shape on modularity and everything became bespoke. So for me, I would have, and I would be interested in Darren's view of this, I think Crossrail should have done a much more intrusive management and coordination of the design supply chain, and we should not have allowed the tier ones to start fitting the mechanical electrical equipment. We should have been brave and said we need to pause the program, and that's a profound lesson, and it takes bravery to stop programs. Third thing is about people. Huge learning from Crossrail. The days of one person coordinating this are kind of over. The leadership style you need is one of inclusivity, where failure is accepted. In fact, failure might be a necessary component of success. It's an environment where everybody's voice is heard.
Also at NCE Future of Rail, TfL Commissioner Andy Byford highlighted the organisation's financial challenges as it continues to push for a multi-year funding settlement from the government.
So if we don't get that funding, we're not saber-rattling, but we are saying that we will potentially go into what we are calling managed decline, which sounds exactly like it does on the tin. It's managed because obviously we'll do things carefully, but it's relentless decline. And my pitch to you is that will not serve London well, and it will not serve the UK well. You can get into that easily. It takes years to get out of that downward spiral. Let's not go there.
Since Byford was speaking at Future of Rail, the DfT has tabled a longer-term deal that TfL is in the process of assessing. This month has also seen some major project milestones, with a breakthrough, for example, on the first tunnel to be created for HS2. The 1.6-kilometre dig under Long Itchington Wood in Warwickshire has been completed with a 125-metre long, 2,000-tonne tunnel bore machine named Dorothy. A 93-metre long, 6.5-metre wide tunnel has also been built under the HS2 construction site at Euston Station to connect a new traction substation to the London Underground network. In other news, the government has approved EDF's plans for the new £20 billion Sizewell C nuclear power station. Energy Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng granted the project's development consent order application after various planning delays. Despite concerns in the Planning Inspectorate's report about water supply strategy, as well as impacts on natural habitats, Kwarteng concluded that the very substantial and urgent need for the proposal outweighs the harms, and that development consent should therefore be granted for the proposed development. Campaign group Together Against Sizewell C have, however, launched a legal challenge against the decision. And finally, the public vote for the location of the Great British Railways headquarters has now closed. The 6 shortlisted locations were chosen from bids from 42 local authorities, and the result of the vote will be used to measure the level of support for each and will form part of the final decision-making process. The locations in the running are Birmingham, Crewe, Derby, Doncaster, Newcastle and York. Transport Secretary Grant Shapps will announce the winning location later this year. Thank you for watching NCE News Wrap. Join us again next month for another roundup. This news wrap was brought to you by New Civil Engineer in partnership with Ground Force Shoreco. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content, but for now, here's a bit more information on our sponsor.
Ground Force Shoreco are the leading supplier of shoring equipment in the UK and Ireland, delivering first-class engineering and designs, exceptional service, and the highest quality kit for over 40 years. From the smallest excavations to the largest. Ground Force Shoreco, experts in excavation safety.